Good evening, guys, Unfrequented World, and tonight I'm out doing something a little different than normal. I've got the DSLR with me, and my brother sent me a clip this week on paranormal photography. Now, I've read a few books in the past on spirit hoaxes back in the day, the late 1800s, when they first came out with spirit photography and seance photography, and there's all kinds of history there where people were hoaxed with double exposures and all kinds of nifty tricks. But there was some real science put into it with long exposures and things like that, where they tried to actually take pictures of spirits. And I just thought, hey, why not give this a shot in my own yard, where we talked about this kid who was at my house before, said he saw a spirit hanging from the trees, or a person hanging from the trees. I thought, hey, why not give something strange like that a try? So come on, join me, let's give it a whirl. So this is still a Bigfoot video because I am going to take the dog and we're going to go for a walk back to the swamp tonight, and we're going to look for light anomalies, orbs, whatever. In the last video that we did back there was one strange light. As I was talking right at the end of the video, I'd been out in the swamp for a couple hours. I didn't see anything with my own eyes, but behind me in the very last scene, you could see a glowing light appear and then fade off, and it happened twice. And at the same time, while that was happening, I kept stopping while filming the video thinking I was hearing something behind me. So I don't know if it was just eyeballs. They shouldn't have glowed. It shouldn't have been like a glowing light that appeared there because I had no lights on. We were using the infrared light on the camera only. I can't explain what it was. It was not snow machines or something going by, because you cannot see the lake from the swamp. It's not houses, there's no houses back there, and the light was not there at any point during the night that I saw with my own eyes. It just kind of faded in and faded out. Check out the last video, it's time-stamped, it's there. I even put an arrow showing where it is. Just a strange light anomaly. That's the second strange light anomaly I've seen back in the swamp in the past month. The other one, which I didn't catch on film, was a bright flash of light, just like a flash from a camera going off up in the trees, and I turned to look at it and said, what was that? So two strange light anomalies worth investigating, and we're going to go back tonight and do that. Before we get to the swamp, though, I want to do some experimentation with my camera here. What I want to do is use long exposure and high ISO settings. I've been watching some videos from Steve Huff Paranormal on YouTube. This is what he does. He experiments with this stuff all the time, and he had a theory that using high ISO, which it would introduce a lot of grain into your images, would allow spirit manifestation. Now, do I believe in any of this stuff? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm not sure. I will tell you guys a strange story. It breaks my heart to do it because it's about my best friend, and my best friend actually passed away when I was 19 and he was 21. And there's a whole story that goes with that. But I do believe in spirits. I do believe that we are more than what we are just here. Maybe humans don't always see these things, but children often do, and I believe that. And that's what happened in my yard here, was that this little kid said he saw somebody hanging in the trees up here. And doing research, I found that we are right on one of the first Voyageur trade routes here. It's about 300 yards over to the river that Champlain, one of the first explorers to come into Canada, used that route when trading and exploring. So, and this route goes right back to the 1700s. So this kid might have seen something. Did somebody get hung here in my yard a couple of hundred years ago? I don't know. Let's take some pictures. I'm going to start with just long exposure, half a second, ISO 12,800. It's 6:30 right now, so it is still getting darker. As the night gets a little bit darker here, I'll be able to make those exposures a little bit longer. And let's just see if we catch anything. I also want to try throwing up an infrared flashlight onto the scene, and I don't have an infrared sensor in this camera, but who knows? We can experiment. Maybe we'll catch something by throwing the infrared flashlight on the scene and lighting it up and taking some photos that way as well. We'll use the timer, so there won't be any shake introduced by me touching this. And I'm actually at 1 second exposures right now, F10. ISO 12800, so there should be lots of grain in there, which the experts are saying we should have grain in our photographs. Now we'll do a couple with the flashlight. Speaking of which, I've got a new surprise for you guys. The slowest ship from China finally sailed. This is our, I was going to say trusted infrared flashlight, but it's not trusted. It's let me down a couple times. So it is working tonight. Fantastic. This is a 5-watt light. Not what I originally ordered. I never got that flashlight. So I went ahead and dropped another 40 bones and got this bad boy. This is a 10-watt infrared light. So we'll look at that on the camera. It should offer us a much stronger beam of light than we've had. And this one is working as well. We'll play around with those in a little bit as well. I forget what I was going to say. Also, I want to see if I can take the camcorder here, which has an infrared light filter on it, so we're recording in infrared only right now. Can I put the camera in photo mode, which it does have, while I'm in infrared mode? I don't know. Let's try it and see if I can get a shot. Obviously, I'll have to let you know how that works out because we can't record it as we're doing it. I'll try that right now. Excellent news! We can actually put the camera in photo mode and then turn it back into night shot and then do still shots with it in infrared mode. At first it didn't work when I just pushed the photo button, and that's because you actually have to put the camera in dedicated photo mode. Then it allows you to be in night mode and take photos, so fantastic! I took a few here, I took out the infrared flashlight, took a few more. I'm not seeing anything in these photos, I don't know, we'll go over them on the computer. I just thought it was something worth trying. Let's test these two flashlights and see how much extra light we're going to gain by using the new 10-watter. So there is with the regular light on the camera. And there's with the 5-watt light that we've been using. And I don't know if this thing is working full power. The batteries are fully charged. It doesn't seem very bright right now. We can turn it into a spotlight. So I guess, yeah, it's working. It's just not very bright. So that's the 5-watt right there. That's when it's zoomed in as a spotlight. That's at its widest. And there's just the light on the camcorder. Let's try the new 10-watt. Oh, look at that. Now it doesn't go as wide. That's as wide as it goes. So it actually, it leaves a pretty good circle there. We can zoom it in more. Much more powerful than what we've had in the past. Okay, so we're going to head out on our walk now. I've got the dog out here with me. I'm not bringing the Zoom It parabolic dish because he's too noisy. And there's lots of skidoos out on the lake again tonight, so it's kind of pointless to use that here. But we will go for a walk. I want to talk to you guys about the channel, doubling down on my efforts here. Just to chat a little bit, bounce some stuff off of you guys. It's snowing lightly, but we'll keep our eyes open for any lights. And we'll just go for a cold... You know, I did spend all day watching David Paulides' Missing 411 video, so what better time than to go in the bush alone in the middle of nowhere by yourself than after you've watched that crap all day, so here we go! Yeah, so if any of you guys are fans of the Missing 411, I subscribe to the actual Can-Am Missing Project or whatever it's called on YouTube over a year ago, and David Paulides hasn't been putting up any videos. Well, he recently started again in the last few weeks, so I think this is going to be a weekly thing now where he puts up a new video. He discusses some cases from his books and various theories and things like that, so if you're into that, check it out. He's got his own channel on YouTube. They're really poorly done in terms of audio. And he sets up like along the side of the ocean, and you got all these crashing waves and people going by, and he's talking, and And then in the last video, he sets up right by a bubbling creek, and all you can hear is the creek and some trucks going by in the background. But if you like Missing 411, if you like to scare the bejesus out of yourself, then by all means check it out. He is the #1 source, right? Lots of guys are sharing his videos and stuff, and I guess he doesn't like that, so he's actually starting to put out his own material now. So I definitely throw that out there, guys. Go check out his channel. So as I say, it is snowing tonight. It's cloudy, no moon, but it's early enough that I can still see out here probably 60 feet. So for now we're okay. I don't need any other flashlights or anything. I went through here today on the Skidoo, so the trail is packed. We just got about 8 inches of snow in the last 2 days, so I didn't see any new tracks of anything. I'm really not expecting to. I don't know what to think, guys. All the happenings on and strangeness here on this trail and in these woods seems to be light anomalies. That's why I don't bring the dog. Dude, like literally he's got a 10-foot stick and he's running into me. Come on, let's go. He's more of a pain in the butt to bring than... But I'm not trying to sneak up on anything tonight because I just felt the need to get out here and make a video. So back to the spirit story and my thoughts on that. When I was a kid, my dad went to the local clairvoyant, I guess you'd call her. Should I say her name? I don't know. Free advertising, I guess. Nora of the North. I don't know if she's still in business. I don't know if she's still alive. But when we were kids, my parents were divorced. And we kind of lived double lives, my brother and I, right? What you did at mom's, you didn't tell dad. What you did at dad's, you didn't tell mom. You just, you know, the whole divorced parent thing. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that. It was kind of a nightmare living as a kid. But he went to this clairvoyant, and she records everything, all the sessions that she did. And my dad came home and he's like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So many things she's getting wrong in this audio tape. And my brother and I knew better. And when we heard her telling stories talking about us and the things, you know, oh, the good times they had with their mom and all the things, that, you know, we were like, absolutely, like it was scary. She was that good. She knew her stuff. Like right away, my brother and I were convinced this woman, my dad thought she was a fraud and a hoax because, of course, we're not telling him the whole truth of everything, but everything she said was the absolute truth. And I remembered that, you know, into my teenage years and into college. And my best friend and I were wandering downtown one day, and he's, you know, I had mentioned this to him at some point, that, you know, this story about how I thought she was real. And we happened to be walking by her office, and he said, let's go in and have a reading done. And so, you know, I'm kind of leery about stuff like that. I don't really want to know my future and stuff. You know, I can't explain it. I just don't want to know, right? But I went in reluctantly with him. And I was kind of hesitant. We went in and there was no one there. Her office was open, and she had like a little waiting room and all these mystic books and mysticism and healing and all this stuff. But there was no one there. Her office door was open and there was no one there. We wandered around, we waited 10 minutes, and we never had a reading done. And the reason I remember that is because 2 weeks later, my friend passed away in a terrible car accident. And I always thought that I should go back to her and have a reading done, because if he ever wanted to communicate with me, he knew that, you know, that's where I would go. And I just have never in 23 years been able to bring myself to go back and do that. But I believe that that woman was the real deal. And attached with that story, when I was in college, my friends had decided they were going out west trucking. It was my best friend and his brother. And one day at school, this girl said she was reading tarot cards, and she asked me if I wanted a reading, and I said no, because like I say, I don't want to know any of that stuff. And she was kind of a spooky girl, and she kind of convinced me, said, oh no, come on. Well, guess what? The third card in, or whatever it was, I got the death card. And the look on this poor girl's face, and the story, like, it was absolute horror. she said, you know, I hate to tell you this, you're going to lose a friend. And I thought, yeah, I am. I'm losing 2 friends. They're moving out west. And that's what all I thought about it at the time. And there was more to it, I forget. Maybe I've blocked it out. I don't know. It was scary stuff. But anyway, abject horror on this poor girl's face as she told me this. And again, you know, a few weeks after that reading, my friend went out west and he wasn't out there a week and he died. So I do believe there is more to it. I believe that there are people that can see stuff, and the 2 experiences with those people, the girl in my class back in the days of college and that Nora of the North, absolutely, I believe they know stuff that normal people don't know. So now I'm kind of at the point in the trail, we're 600 yards from the house. We're past where most of the weird stuff happens, and we're going back into the swamp here now. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm just going to walk and film quietly. I'm going to watch the dog, use his senses. I'll show you guys a bit of this. Well, I mean, if something happens, obviously you'll see that, but we'll try the new flashlight, and I'm just going to walk here in silence. Smell something here. I don't know what it is. Really hard to see now. It's dark. I haven't seen any lights or anything, but who knows what's happening behind me. I forgot to bring the GoPro and strap it on behind me, so I don't know. Oh, camera. The tripod's caught on something here, and I can't even see what it is a foot away from me. It's snagged on something. Yeah, there's branches there. This is almost worse when I do this. Because if I see something... The other weird thing about this camera is when it's in night shot mode, it doesn't face detect. So I pretty much have to record everything in manual to keep my face in focus. Which I guess we could still see light anomalies and things behind me, but they won't be as clear as they should be. I really don't want to see what's behind me, truthfully. Well, there's the house, guys. Went back almost a mile. Didn't see or hear anything abnormal. I don't know. Got some stuff off my chest though, so that feels good. Stay tuned, guys. I'm getting back into YouTube mode, hopefully here. And I want to do some new experimental stuff. So also some reviews. Got some new camera gear, so we'll do some old stuff too, I guess. But I don't know. I want to capture light anomalies. They're out here in these woods. I want to capture them. And we're going to try. I'm going to come up with a good solid plan, and we're going to try. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.